Mark is this unique pensman. He's a little different than Matthew. Matthew used his penmanship to deal with the parables of Jesus. Mark deal with the miracles of Jesus. Parables is speaking. Miracles is action. Parables, you hear them, but miracles you see. Mark shows us the activities of Jesus, how he majored in miracles. He deals with miracles that in normal life would be unthought of. He deals with the miracle of the deep. He deals with the miracle of death. He deals with miracles of diseases. And then he deals with the miracles of the demonic. Dealing with the miracle of the deep, he calms the storm. Dealing with the miracle of death, he raises Jairus' daughter from the dead. To deal with the miracle of the disease, he allowed a woman to touch his hem, and her body is made whole. He dealt with the disease of the demonic, the man that was demoniac in the grave cutting himself with stones. Each of these we would have a problem trying to solve. Jesus became a physician in all of these situations. With the disease girl, he was a pediatrician. The disease of the woman, he was a gynecologist. With the disease of the demonic, he became a psychiatrist. I like it because Jesus majored in things that we minor in. He's able to do the unthinkable. He can wrought miracles whenever he get ready. I'm a little hesitant about requesting miracles from God. I hear people say, I'm looking for a miracle. Miracles are expensive because for you to have a miracle, you have to encounter a problem. Miracles come on the end of a crisis. When you say, I want God to bless me with a miracle, you might need to find out what it costs before you make that request for you to have a miracle of healing. You got to be sick. Talk to me, somebody. And now God can honor your request if that's what you want, but be careful how you send up a request for a miracle if you're not intending to go through something. Mark is this unique pensman that he writes in a hurry, simply because he has less material than the other gospel writers. Matthew give us 28 chapters, Luke give us 24 chapters, John give us 21 chapters, Mark give us only 16. Because of that, Mark missed many things that Matthew and Luke records. Matthew, Luke, or Mark say nothing about the genealogy of Jesus. He said nothing about the birth of Jesus. He said nothing about his growth as a youngster. He omit all of these things and go right to him preaching the gospel. When Mark picks up Jesus, he's 30 years of age. Scholars say he covered only 180 days of the life of Jesus. What I discovered is not how much you say, it's what you say. That I have heard people talk all day and say nothing. And I've heard people just make a statement and it revolutionized your life forever. Not how much you say, but what you say. Mark picks up Jesus. And at the time of the text, Jesus had been extremely busy. He had spent time casting out devils. He had spent a whole day teaching the Word of God to the extent that his onlookers said, never before have we heard anyone teach like this man. John said Jesus was a teacher sent from God. I like to help John out to say he really was God that came down to teach. Because he was a unique teacher. But he was God first. He had spent the day teaching, and then of course, he had to spend some time dealing with his family. Because sometimes your family are the only ones that don't get it. It's amazing how you are accepted everywhere else, but your family, it's hard for them sometimes to get it. And I have to admit that I get sometimes caught up myself. I have to kind of regroup every now and then. When I travel, I just left Oakland, California, and every step I made when I was after service, one right after the other, walk up to me and say, "You're a genius." We've never heard anybody like you before. I've been in church 50 years. I've never heard a preacher like you. I hear that everywhere else, but when I get home, so sometimes I leave with my head down. I said, boy, it worked everywhere but at home. Look at you a little different. And Jesus was teaching, and his family came to where he was teaching. And they didn't come into church. They stood on the outside and sent a notie and told us, go in and tell Jesus. His mother and brothers want to see it. They came because there was a rumor that Jesus had lost it. That they knew he was Joseph's and Mary's son. But Jesus was telling people, I'm the Son of God. And they said, he's going to get killed. They're going to kill him out there blaspheming, talking about he's the Son of God. So the family heard the rumors. And they came and said, tell him to come here. And Jesus, they said, Jesus, your mother and brothers are outside. They want to see you. But you have to get to the point in life, even with family, Jesus must be first. The kingdom must be number one. I know we try to put family first. Family is there, but they ain't first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added. Don't forget your family, but But Jesus got to be number one. Even in marriage, Jesus is number one. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21, submitting yourself one to the other in the fear of the Lord. The word submit is a military term. It means second in command. That means husband nor wife can be number one in each other's life. Christ must be number one. And when he's number one, then they fall in line. But if you put you in front of him, you put a wedge between you and God. Talk to me, somebody. Jesus said, who is my mother? Who are my brothers? And then he said, I tell you who they're the ones to do the will of my Father. Jesus was tired, extensively tired. Can I tell you, because I've done both. I've done physical labor, and I've been preaching 2/3 of my life. One 30-minute sermon take as much out of your body as 8 hours manual labor. I thought I'd just throw that out at y'all. Just one 30-minute sermon, it drained you. Jesus had been teaching all day long. The Bible said, evening was come. That's the beginning of the text. And when evening was come, can I just pause a moment and tell you, evening will come? That you're living in the morning of your life now. Enjoy it as long as you can. Have fun. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your life. Don't throw it away. Don't waste it, because evening will come. When evening comes, things go to switching on you. You sit down, you hate to get up. Stand up, you have to find the right place to sit down. When evening comes, when evening comes, you need to put glasses on the glasses in order to see what you need to see. When evening comes, you have to watch what you eat, because food don't cooperate right when it get a certain age. It's when evening comes. You comb your hair and be more hair on the comb than on your head. When evening, talk to me, somebody. When evening comes, you discover you have more family on the other side than you do on this side. When evening comes, you keep going to the grave saying goodbye, 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 goodbye. When evening come, can I tell you, if you keep living, evening will come. The Bible says when evening was come, he said unto them, let us pass over unto the other side. I don't want to go too fast with this because there's so much in the text. He said, let us pass over to the other side, meaning the destination was the other side. The disciples had a problem while they were going, but they were destined to go to the other side. Can I tell you, if you're born again, you already have a ticket for the other side. Only problem is, you never know what you're going to run into on the way to the other side. And God is so unique, he don't tell you up front all the stuff you're going to run into. Because if he would tell you, you wouldn't get the tickets. Talk to me, somebody. He never told Israel when they left Egypt that there was a Red Sea. He never told them that there was a Jordan they had to cross. He never told them they was going to run in to bitter water. He didn't tell them that Israel, that Egypt would be coming after Israel. He just said, I'll be with you. Can I tell you, when the Lord is with you, come hell or high water, you can make it to the other side. The Bible said when they got ready to go, they had to do some things. The Bible said, and when they had sent away the multitude. Why did they send them away? If you go into the other side, you got to eliminate and dismiss some skeptics. Because skeptics will hinder your journey. You'll always have folk tell you, I wouldn't do that. Always folk tell you, I don't see it. Always got folks, I got a funny feeling about this, but you can't soar with eagles and hang out with turkeys. Talk to me, somebody. If you are going to fly with eagles, you got to dismiss the turkeys. It was evening. They sent away the multitude. The Bible said, there arose a great storm of wind. Can I pause and tell you, this fit in all of our lives. We either in a storm or just coming out of a storm or on our way to a storm. I'm preaching, y'all just ain't saying nothing. He was headed for storm. The Galilean lake was 13 feet long, 8 feet wide, 150 feet deep, 680 feet below sea level, which meant it was sitting in kind of a cup-like form. The Bible said, there arose a great storm of wind. But now, I need you to understand that storms would normally come in the day. It was rare that they had a storm at night. Storms come from the hot air from the lake rising and the cold air coming from the mountains down on the hot air and collide. It would whip up a storm, which meant storms would come sudden. They would come unexpectedly. Storms that we encounter come sudden. Just one doctor visit, you're in a storm. The doctor said, I saw something. And so we're going to have to do emergency surgery. You're in a storm. Just one phone call. You start not to even answer the phone. On the other end, that's a family member that's going through something that's going to affect you. You're in a storm. One kiss Husband kisses his wife in the morning, say, goodbye, baby, see you this evening. Come back, stick key in the door, furniture all gone. The cat meets you at the door. And the cat holler, she gone. You in a storm. And the judge don't care who's right or who's wrong. They just want to know how much money you got. And they're going to split it straight down the middle. Y'all ain't saying nothing. You're in the storm. There is the seriousness of the storm. But you need to understand, the Bible said that the water start getting in the boats. Storms are serious. There is what you call storms of sorrow. When you have to bury somebody you love dearly. People handle it different. Most of the times, if you've done what you're supposed to do while they live, you can handle it better when they're gone. Most of the people in the funerals that I've gone to, homegoing, the ones that's trying to climb up in the casket ain't done nothing while mama was living. Y'all ain't saying nothing. You see one sitting on the front, ain't saying nothing, little smile on their face. They did what they needed to do. They took mama to the doctor. They stayed by mama's bedside. They hovered and covered mama. They can smile because they did the right thing. But the ones that got to take them out 2 or 3 times, y'all ain't talking back to me. They wasn't there for mama. They still owe mama. And they wait until the funeral's over to see if they can get something else from mama. And when they say, I don't know what I'm going to do, it ain't because mama's dead. It's because you've been dependent on mama. Y'all going to make me preach this a long time. You'll have a witness. There's the storm of sorrow. But then there's the storm of suffering. Can I tell you, if you live in this life, suffering is going to come. Matter of fact, Jesus said in John 16:33, these things write unto you, that you might have peace. You shall have tribulation. Be of good cheer. I have overcome. Job 14:1, a man that is born of a woman is a few days. And those days are full of trouble. 2 Corinthians 4:8, we're troubled on every side, yet not in distress. We're perplexed, we ain't forsaken. Talk to me, somebody. Trouble will come in this life. I asked the Lord, I said, now Lord, since I know you can eliminate and stop trouble from coming, why are you sending it in my life? He said, I sent it for several reasons. Number one, I'm trying to mature you. Talk to me, somebody. Because there's still a little play stuff in all of us. We haven't taken God as serious as we ought to. God sends storms to mature us. Can I tell you, you're better on the other side of the storm than you are before you get into the storm. Because in the storm, God puts you in a predicament where you have to depend on him. Because your money has limitations. Your connections got limitations. Your friend have limitation, but God have no limitations. He sent trouble to mature us, but he also sent trouble to develop us, because trouble will give you strong spiritual muscles. Talk to me, somebody. You find somebody that have arrived, they've been through something. Y'all don't hear me. Somebody walked up. David Boyle is sleeping with the Lord. They walked up to him one day, talking to him about me. They said, I wish I was Frank Ray. David Boyle said, buddy, you can't even stand the hate letters he get. Every letter that come ain't cookies and cream. Every time somebody writes you, they ain't giving you something good to say. They find the negative stuff. That letter, lady wrote me one day, no, it was a lady. And she said, I listened to your sermon. Said, I heard 18 words that was not proper. Your grammar is bad. I wrote her back. I said, what was the sermon about? She said, I don't know. I said, well, thank God I messed up grammar. Because if I hadn't, you wouldn't have heard nothing. People scrutinize you to find the negative. Y'all ain't talking back to me. Thank God, God sent us through things to help to develop us, to make us stronger, to make us more mature. And I often say that whenever you're going through, whatever you're going through, get on your elevator and go up to room 828. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God and to them who are the called according to his purpose. I got to get out of here. There is, number one, the severity of the storm. But then I needed to know the source of the storm. That's about far as I can go today. What caused the storm? Sometimes God sends storms. He sent a storm to Jonah to correct him. Jonah, God said, go to Nineveh. He went to Tarshish. He lived in a town called Gatehefer. He came down to Joppa. And going to Tarshish was due east. He went to Joppa due west, which meant he was supposed to go this way. But he went in the opposite direction. Talk to me, somebody. You see, when you go in the wrong direction, God will put you on the right track. Have I got a witness? He sent a storm in Jonah's life to correct him. But he sent a storm in the disciples' life to perfect them. Because the disciples was doing what the Lord asked them to do. He said, we're going over to the other side. Jesus knew the storm was coming. And yet he put the disciples on the ship with him. Sometimes, Lord, God sent a storm in your life to correct you. And sometimes God sent a storm in your life to perfect you. You see, I discovered God selects certain people he can trust with trouble. He walked down the aisle and tapped you on the shoulder and said, "Follow me, brother." He jumped over 3-4 folks and said, "Come on, go with me." He finds somebody in the back and said, "Come on." And you start getting jealous because God picked them and not you. But God gonna send them through hell and high water. You always said that. And you sitting there and ain't nothing happened to you. You say, "I don't know why God did it. Maybe I'm doing the right." No. God can't trust you with it. Y'all don't like me this house. You see, he jumped over everybody and got Job. And he knew he could trust Job with trouble. Because he knew out of all the stuff Job encountered, Job would say, "Though you slay me, yet will I trust in you." Now, what problem bothered me in the text is that the storm came and Jesus rebuked the storm. I sent him a text message. I said, "Jesus, I'm on the way to New Salem. Got some real smart people at the early service. I want to know, is something going on between you and your dad?" He said, "What you mean?" I said, "Well, storm came, and I thought God sent the storm. And you turned around and rebuked the storm." The word rebuke means be muzzled. It means shut up. Have I got a witness here? I said, "Jesus, is something going on with you and the Father?" Jesus said, no. Said, I wrote in John 14:9, "When you see me, you see my Father. I and my Father are one." If you want to write a letter to my Father, just send it to my address. That's why there ain't nothing wrong with the Son, with the Father. Maybe the Father got something going on with the Son. I went to the Father and said, "Father, have you found out with your Son?" He said, "Didn't you hear me?" And Luke 17 said, "This is my beloved Son, and whom I am well pleased." Have I got a witness in there? So I discovered it was not the Father, it was not the Son, but it was Satan himself. Satan whipped up the storm. I said, "Why?" He's a preacher. "Do you know who owned the ship?" I can quit right there. "Do you know who it is that's riding the ship?" In other words, the devil, oh Lord, was not after the disciples. They was trying to stop Jesus. I've said enough. And can I tell you, when the devil attacks you, it's because he sees some Jesus in you. You see, we worth being attacked by the devil. But when the devil discovers that Jesus is in us, he'll try to destroy us to get to Jesus. Dr. E.B. Heald was preaching here one day, and he said he had a member that was a hell raiser. Walked up to him and said, "Reverend, pray for me. The devil is trying to get me." E.B. said, "I doubt that. Devil ain't bothering you." So you're not worth the devil bothering. But can I tell you, when the devil come after you, it's because Satan sees some God on the inside. Have I got a witness? Listen to what the disciples said. I finish it up in the next service. The disciples said, Master. You could tell they was upset because they used the wrong name. They said, Master. The Greek word is didaskalon. In the Greek, it means teacher. Now, when you're in a storm, you don't need a teacher. You need a deliverer. They should have called him Lord Kurios, which means that's my leader. That's my deliverer. When I'm in a storm, I need somebody that's got all power. He said, Master. The disciple said, do you care? That give me the key to what's going on. They doubted God's goodness. Have I got a witness in there? Didn't the Lord say, we're going over to the other side? Can I tell you all this morning, whatever you do, don't doubt the goodness of God, because my God, every time I take a step, he let me rest before I have to use my other foot. Every time I inhale a breath of air, he let me rest and have another breath waiting on me. Every time I said good night to him, he said good morning to me. My God is a good God. Help me say he's good. They doubted his goodness. They doubted his grace, because they said we perish, but God have given us amazing grace. Wait a minute, somebody say, honey, I was alone an island. I was a sinner too, but I heard the voice of Jesus saying there is some work to do. I took my master's hand. I joined the Christian band, and I'm on. I say I'm on. Oh, oh. The battlefield, and I'm working for the Lord. Let me say it's all right. It's about eyes are closed. Gracious God, our Father, we thank you so much for now. Thank you for what you've done and doing.